It is welcomed that the BBC accepts Lord Dyson's findings in full, which are extremely concerning. That BBC employees lied and used fake documents to obtain the interview with my mother.
A royal bombshell has sent shockwaves through the British monarchy. Reports suggest that Prince William has taken a bold step, one that could change everything. Queen Camilla, once the most controversial figure in his mother's story, has reportedly been blocked from attending an event that honors Princess Diana's legacy. This isn't just a small decision, it's a statement. A move so unexpected that it has everyone asking the same question: why now? What pushed Prince William to make such a drastic choice? Is this about protecting his mother's memory, or is there something deeper at play? For years, Diana's name has been carefully woven into the royal family's public image. Her humanitarian work, her compassion, and her connection with people were undeniable. But beneath that polished narrative lies a much darker history. A story of betrayal, pain, and a monarchy that once saw her as more of a problem than a princess. Queen Camilla, once known only as the woman in the shadows, has now stepped fully into the spotlight. Married to King Charles, she holds a title that once seemed impossible, a role that Diana was meant to define. And now, at an event meant to celebrate Diana's life and impact, her absence speaks louder than words. The tension inside the royal family has never been more apparent. Prince William has always been known for keeping his emotions in check and for carrying the weight of responsibility without faltering. But something has changed. Those closest to him describe a man who is no longer willing to silently accept the past. If he truly has taken a stand against Camilla's presence at this event, it means the wounds from his mother's tragic life and her untimely death have never fully healed, and perhaps they never will. This decision isn't just about a single event, it's about history repeating itself. It's about a man standing up for the woman who shaped him, for the mother he lost too soon. It's about the unspoken tensions inside the palace, the battles behind closed doors, and the legacy that refuses to be erased. But what happened at the ceremony? And why is this moment shaking the royal family to its core? Before we dive into what happened at the ceremony, let's understand why this event holds such deep significance. The Diana Award is more than just an honor. It is a living tribute to the legacy of a woman who redefined what it meant to be a royal. Princess Diana was not only for her elegance and grace, but for her unwavering dedication to helping others. She connected with people in ways no royal had before. She sat with the sick, embraced those suffering from disease, and championed causes that many in her position would have ignored. She didn't just visit charities, she changed lives. When she passed away, the world didn't just lose a princess, it lost a humanitarian force. The Diana Award was created to keep that spirit alive, to ensure that her mission of kindness and compassion did not fade with time. Each year, the Diana Award recognizes young people who are making a difference in their communities. These are not celebrities or well-known figures. They are everyday heroes, young individuals who stand up for what is right, fight against injustice, and use their voices to create change. Whether they are working to end bullying, improve mental health awareness, protect the environment, or support the less fortunate, the recipients of the Diana Award are proof that one person can make a difference. Diana always believed in the power of young people. She once said, "Young people have the power to change the world," and this award exists to prove her right. For Prince William and Prince Harry, this event is not just another date on the royal calendar, it is one of the few moments in the year when their mother's legacy is at the forefront, untouched by the scandals and drama that often surround the royal family. It is a rare opportunity for them to speak openly about the woman who shaped them, the mother who taught them the importance of empathy and kindness. Both William and Harry have been vocal about how much this award means to them. They have attended past ceremonies, met with recipients, and used their platforms to highlight the stories of these extraordinary young people. The Diana Award is not just about remembering their mother, it is about ensuring that her spirit continues to inspire new generations. Over the years, the Diana Award has grown into one of the most respected humanitarian honors in the world. It is not just a trophy or a certificate. It provides mentorship programs, leadership training, and platforms for young changemakers to expand their efforts. It gives them a voice, just as Diana gave a voice to those who felt unheard. The impact of this award stretches far beyond the ceremony. Those who receive it go on to lead movements, change policies, and inspire thousands of others to take action. It is a ripple effect of kindness, one that started with Diana herself. But this year's ceremony was unlike any before, because WHO was missing. The Diana Award ceremony has always been a significant event for the royal family. It is a moment of reflection, a tribute to a woman whose compassion and humanitarian work changed countless lives. Traditionally, members of the royal family attend, showing their support for the young changemakers being honored in Diana's name. But this year, something was different. A key figure was missing: Queen Camilla. Her absence was not just noticeable, it was shocking. For years, Camilla has worked to secure her place in the royal family, transforming her public image from the woman blamed for Diana's heartbreak to the Queen Consort of the United Kingdom. She has attended major royal events alongside King Charles and has been accepted, if not entirely embraced, by the British public. So why was she not present at this tribute to Diana? And more importantly, was it by choice or by force? The royal family is known for carefully orchestrating their public appearances. Every decision, every presence or absence is planned to send a message. Camilla's absence at an event honoring Diana is not something that would go unnoticed. The event was not just another royal engagement, it was a tribute to the late Princess of Wales, a woman whose legacy still casts a long shadow over the monarchy. To exclude the Queen Consort from such an occasion is not a small decision. It is a statement, a break from the carefully maintained traditions that keep the royal family unified in the public eye. And the person reportedly responsible for this decision? Prince William, the future king. The son of Princess Diana, the boy who grew up watching his mother struggle under the weight of royal expectations and a marriage that was never truly hers. The speculation surrounding William's motives is growing. Was this his way of finally drawing a line in the sand? Public rejection of the woman his mother once saw as a threat? Or was it something more strategic, an effort to take control of the narrative before the next chapter of his reign begins? There are whispers inside the palace that William has never fully accepted Camilla's role in the family. While he has remained respectful in public, those close to him say his true feelings about his stepmother remain complicated. And now, with King Charles on the throne, William is no longer just a grieving son. He is the next in line, the man who will one day define the monarchy's future. If he wanted to make a statement, he chose the perfect stage. The royal family is built on tradition, but it is also built on power. Public perception is everything, and William's decision to reportedly keep Camilla away from the Diana Award ceremony has sparked a firestorm of debate. Was this a personal act of defiance or a calculated move to reshape his mother's legacy? The world is watching. The media is dissecting every possibility, and inside the palace walls, tensions are rising. Because this is not just about one event, it is about what happens next. But then, Prince William took the stage, and everything changed. As Prince William stepped onto the stage, the atmosphere in the room was one of quiet anticipation. The audience expected the usual respectful, heartfelt tribute to his mother, Princess Diana. After all, this was the Diana Award, an event meant to celebrate her legacy and honor young changemakers inspired by her work. People expected warm words about her kindness, her courage, and her deep love for her children. But what they got was something far more powerful. William did not just deliver a tribute, he made a revelation, and within seconds, the entire room fell silent. There was something different about his tone, something heavier, more personal. His voice carried the weight of years of unspoken truths, emotions that had remained buried beneath royal duty. He started by speaking about his mother's impact, how she had changed the world, and how her compassion had shaped countless lives. But then, his words took a turn that no one expected. He spoke not just as a prince, but as a son who had watched his mother suffer, a son who had lived through the painful aftermath of her tragic death. He hinted at the struggles she faced behind palace doors, the betrayals that haunted her, and the forces that worked against her. For years, Diana has been remembered as a beloved princess, a humanitarian, and a woman admired by millions. But in this moment, William seemed determined to remind the world of something else. Diana was also a woman who had been deeply wronged. The tension in the room was thick. Every word carried a meaning that stretched far beyond the event itself. Was he speaking about the pressures the monarchy had placed on her, the way she was treated behind closed doors, or was he pointing at something even more explosive, something the royal family had long tried to keep in the past? People exchanged glances, unsure of how to react. No one had expected William to say what he did, and yet, no one could look away. It was as if, for the first time, the polished mask of the royal family had slipped, and raw truth had taken its place. William's words were not just for the audience in that room, they were for the world, a world that still mourns Diana, that still questions the events that led to her tragic end. The monarchy has always been built on tradition, secrecy, and control, but at that moment, William was not playing by those rules. He was standing in front of the world, speaking from the heart, challenging the carefully maintained image of the institution he was born into. And as his speech came to an end, one thing became clear. This was not just a tribute. It was a statement, a turning point, and perhaps a warning. His words hinted at something hidden for years, something tied directly to his mother's deepest struggles. For years, whispers have circulated about a hidden diary, one said to contain Princess Diana's most private thoughts, her deepest fears, and the truth she never got to share with the world. Some dismissed it as mere speculation, a rumor crafted by those who refused to let her story rest. But others believed that somewhere, locked away from the public eye, was a record of Diana's struggles, in her own words. A diary that held the raw, unfiltered reality of her life behind palace walls. If such a thing existed, it would change everything. And on that stage, during his speech, Prince William confirmed what many had long suspected: it was real. The room stood still as William hinted at its existence. He didn't need to say much. His words carried a weight that was impossible to ignore. His mother had left behind more than just a legacy of kindness and compassion. She had left behind her truth. A truth that had been buried, silenced, or twisted by those who controlled the royal narrative. A truth that, if revealed, could reshape history. The idea of Diana keeping a secret diary is not hard to believe. She had spent years battling the pressures of royal life, enduring betrayal and isolation while the world watched. She had learned early on that her voice was her greatest weapon, and she used it when she could. But there were things she couldn't say out loud, things too dangerous, too personal, too damaging. Where else would she have turned if not to paper? For decades, the world has been told a version of Diana's story, one shaped by media, by palace officials, and by those who sought to control her legacy. But a diary written in her hand would strip away those layers, exposing a reality no one outside her closest circle had ever truly known. Was it a record of the emotional pain she endured? A confession of the struggles she faced behind the palace doors? Or was it something even more shocking? Proof of secrets the royal family had long fought to keep hidden. Whatever it contained, one thing was certain: if William was willing to acknowledge its existence, then the contents were significant. Perhaps too significant to remain in the dark for much longer. The very thought of this diary sends waves through Buckingham Palace. The monarchy thrives on structure and on controlling its image. Diana's voice from beyond the grave threatens to shake that foundation in ways no scandal, no controversy ever could. It forces the world to re-examine everything it thought it knew about her life and her tragic death. And more than that, it puts the people she left behind, her sons, her family, and even those who once worked against her, in a position they can no longer ignore. The past has a way of resurfacing when it is least expected, and now, Diana's own words might be the force that brings long-hidden truths into the light. This revelation had massive consequences, especially for one person in particular. Inside the grand halls of Buckingham Palace, a storm was brewing. Reports suggest that Queen Camilla was deeply unsettled by Prince William's revelation. The moment he acknowledged the existence of Diana's secret diary, everything changed. For years, Camilla had worked tirelessly to reshape her public image, stepping out of the shadows of controversy and into the role of queen consort. But in a single moment, the past came rushing back, threatening to undo decades of careful effort. The whispers of Diana's pain, the scandal of the love triangle, and the betrayal that once rocked the monarchy had resurfaced with full force. Camilla had spent years proving she belonged, but suddenly she was being reminded that, to many, she would always be the woman who came after Diana. Sources close to the palace describe Camilla's reaction as one of shock and distress. She had faced public scrutiny before, but this was different. This was not just a media scandal that could fade with time. This was Diana's own words, her truth, brought back to life by her son. And if that diary contained details about her struggles with Camilla's presence in her marriage, then the queen consort's place in history could be forever rewritten. Every headline, every whisper in royal circles now centered on the same question: what did Diana write? And why did Prince William choose this moment to acknowledge it? The tension inside the palace was undeniable. King Charles, now facing his battle for public support during his reign, was suddenly caught in the middle of an emotional and political storm. He had spent years trying to mend the divisions in his family, to ensure a stable transition after the passing of Queen Elizabeth. But this moment shattered that delicate balance. As a husband, he could not ignore Camilla's distress, but as a father, he had to reckon with the fact that his son had just reopened old wounds that the monarchy had worked so hard to leave behind. Charles had fought for years to bring Camilla into the fold, to make her role as queen consort accepted. But Diana's name still held immense power, and now it was casting a shadow over his reign in a way he never expected. Behind closed doors, urgent discussions were taking place. Damage control was necessary. The monarchy had weathered scandals before, but this was different. This was deeply personal, and it was clear that Camilla, despite all the progress she had made, was once again at the center of a storm she thought had passed. The media frenzy was growing, the public was demanding answers, and inside the palace there was a sense of unease that could not be ignored. What was once considered history was now very much alive, and if this was only the beginning, what would happen next? This event has reignited old tensions, especially between father and son. The royal family has seen its fair share of conflicts, but this time the divide is deeper than ever. Prince William's decision to acknowledge his mother's hidden truths and, reportedly, to distance Queen Camilla from the Diana Awards ceremony has sent a clear message. He is not just a son honoring his mother's memory, he is a future king making a statement. And that statement directly challenges the authority of his father, King Charles. For decades, Charles has fought to maintain control over the monarchy's image, navigating scandals, public criticism, and the delicate task of bringing Camilla into the royal fold. But now, William's actions have forced a reckoning, one that Charles may not be able to contain. The fracture between father and son is impossible to ignore. In royal history, disagreements have been handled behind palace doors, away from public scrutiny. But this is different. William's move was seen by many as a direct challenge, a step toward redefining the future of the monarchy in his way. If he truly had a hand in keeping Camilla away from the Diana Award event, it signals that he is not willing to simply accept the past. He is drawing a line, one that sets his mother's legacy above the rewritten history that has allowed Camilla to rise. To the outside world, it raises a powerful question: what does this mean for the royal family's future? Can Charles and William still present a united front when their visions for the monarchy seem to be at odds? And then there is Prince Harry. Once inseparable from his brother, now living an ocean away, Harry's role in this divide is just as uncertain. For years, Harry has openly spoken about the struggles within the royal family, the weight of history, and the pain both he and William endured after their mother's death. While Harry chose to walk away, William stayed, bound by duty but perhaps just as burdened by the past. Does William's decision signal that he too is questioning the path the monarchy has taken? Could this be the beginning of something even bigger? If William is willing to challenge his father's authority in this way, what else is he prepared to do when he takes the throne? Behind the palace walls, discussions are undoubtedly taking place and damage control strategies are being put into action. But outside those walls, the world is watching closely, dissecting every move, every unspoken message. The British monarchy has survived countless storms, but this one feels different. It is not just a scandal or a public relations crisis. It is a battle between generations, between the past and the future, between tradition and change. And as the royal family scrambles to control the damage, one question remains: what does this mean for the monarchy's future? The British monarchy has stood for centuries, surviving wars, scandals, and shifting public attitudes. But today it faces one of its greatest challenges yet. Prince William's decision to take a firm stand in his mother's name has sent shockwaves through the royal institution. His actions have raised a question that few have dared to ask openly: can the monarchy survive this moment? The royal family has always relied on public support to maintain its position, but that support is not guaranteed. Every controversy, every decision made behind palace doors is now under more scrutiny than ever before. With the world evolving, the idea of monarchy itself is being questioned. And now, as old wounds reopen and divisions within the royal family become impossible to ignore, the future of the crown feels more uncertain than ever. Public trust is everything. Without it, the monarchy risks becoming nothing more than a symbol of the past. For years, the royals have worked hard to modernize, to present themselves as more relatable and more in touch with the people they serve. But scandals like these make it difficult to maintain that image. Diana was not just a princess. She was a global icon, a woman loved by millions. Her struggles with the royal family and the way she was treated left lasting scars in the public's mind. And now, with her son seemingly drawing a line between himself and the institution she once fought against, many are wondering what this means for the future of the royal family. Prince William's actions have sparked conversations that go beyond this single event. Could this be the beginning of a power shift? Will he continue to challenge the traditions that have defined the monarchy for generations? Some believe this is his way of carving out a new path, of reshaping the institution to reflect modern values. Others see it as a dangerous divide, one that could weaken the very foundation of the crown. And where does King Charles stand in all of this? Can he hold the family together, or is he facing a future where his son is unwilling to follow the path he has set? The stakes have never been higher. The monarchy has survived centuries of change, but survival is no longer enough. It must evolve. It must prove to the people that it still has a place in the modern world. If it cannot do that, then the cracks that are forming now could one day break it apart entirely. William's choices and his willingness to take a stand may be a sign of what is to come. He is not just the son of Diana, he is the future king, and whether the monarchy survives may depend on what he chooses to do next. The world is watching, and one thing is certain: this story is far from over. The British monarchy has stood for centuries, weathering scandals, betrayals, and public scrutiny. But this moment feels different. Prince William's decision to take a stand has shaken the very foundation of the royal family. His reported move to distance Queen Camilla from an event honoring his mother was not just an act of defiance, it was a message. A reminder that Diana's legacy still holds power, a sign that the wounds of the past have not healed. His shocking revelation about his mother's secret diary added fuel to an already growing fire. It was more than a tribute, it was a reckoning. A truth buried for decades now coming to light. Camilla's reaction, King Charles' position, and the growing divide between father and son have left the monarchy in a fragile state. The world is watching. The public is asking, what happens next? Will William's actions change the course of history? Can the royal family survive this storm, or is this the beginning of something much bigger? The monarchy has long depended on unity, but now that unity is cracking. And when cracks form, they can either be repaired or they can break everything apart. The questions remain: was William's decision an act of revenge or a step toward a modernized monarchy? What will King Charles do to regain control? And where does Prince Harry fit into all of this? These are not just royal family matters, they are moments that could shape the future of the crown. What do you think? Was Prince William right to take a stand? Let us know in the comments. This is just the beginning. Stay tuned as the royal saga continues to unfold. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, and we will see you in the next video showing on your screen.